And I'm adjusting the cameras. One more tweak, dropping the angle just a little bit more, and we'll be ready to begin. Yep, cool. All right. Do I have something to wipe this with? Whee. All right. Welcome back, everybody. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, and to make the stretching, the suffering we're about to do on the floor a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable. So if you care about working on that hip mobility, we haven't been super consistent with it, this is the place to be. We go live every day at 9 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to get started right now. Cool? All right, first thing we're going to do is warm up together. We do 3 warm-up exercises, and, well, I guess like 3.5 warm-up exercises, and the first thing we do is called the hip car. Hip cars look a little bit like this. We start by lifting this knee up as high as we can directly in front of us. Then from here, we're going to rotate, open up that hip directly to the side. This hip, the actual hip bone, pelvis, is staying in the same spot. It's not going anywhere, but the leg is opening up. Keep that knee as high as you can. All right? From here, we're going to rotate the leg. We're going to bring the ankle up so that it's hidden behind the knee when you're looking at it from the front. Pause right there for a second. I'm going to rotate so you can see what it looks like from the side. Our hips are still in the same spot, but the leg is over here. And we're going to keep on rotating. We're going to keep on bringing that ankle up, 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 up. And when you're feeling like your hamstrings are about to cramp, bring that leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel the stretch here in the hip flexor. That is 1 rep. We're going to do 10 of these on the left side. We're going to do 10 of these on the right side. Let's go. Haven't done very many facing you guys in a while, so let's do that. I'm going to get rid of some of those things so I don't step on a dumbbell and break my toe. Let's go. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. Ooh, 1. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. If you need a little bit of support, feel free to grab onto something. Usually I hold on to the wall behind me, but since I'm facing you guys, I cannot. And I'm just going to have to figure out this balance thing. 4. Let's go. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 5. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 6. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 7. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 8. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 9. Last 1. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 10. Oh, that's one side. We got the other side to do, and then we got to go in reverse. Let's go. Take a nice big deep breath in. Relax. And keep that core nice and strong. Let's go. High knee. Open. Ankle up, ankle up, ankle up, ankle up. Bring the leg down and back. That's 1. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 2. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 3. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 4. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 5. If you have a wall next to you, you can definitely lean against it. Put your hand out against it. And let's keep going. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 6. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 7. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 8. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 9. Last 1. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 10. Oh. Man, okay. Those are hip cars going forward. Take a quick second, shake out those legs, do a little dance, wiggle, 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 and we're going to get ready to do 10 more going backwards. When we go in reverse, it is extra important to keep the core nice and tight, all right? And that is because when we go backwards, the first thing that we do is bring the leg down and back. If you get super excited, you start bringing that leg real far back, and you start kicking it out like, I don't know, like a donkey or a horse kicking out his leg. You're going to put a whole bunch of pressure here in the low back. All right? Can you see the difference between this with the back arched and the back a little bit more neutral. We don't want too much arching because after 10 reps on each side, it's going to be a lot of arching and your back might get a little bit tired. Okay, so keep that core nice and tight, and I think we're going to continue. Let's go. Core. Braced leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel the stretch here in the hip flexor. From here, we're going to lift that leg directly to the side. Rotate the ankle up. Oh, rotate the ankle down, lift the knee, and bring that knee to the front. That is one rep. Oh, we're going to do 10 of these. Let's go. I'm already out of breath. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's two. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's three. Back, side, ankle up, ankle up, yeah, down, knee. That's four. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's five. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Six. Four more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's seven. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's eight. Two more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Nine. Last one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 10. Oh man, that's 3/4 of our hip cars. We got one last set to do on this final leg. Take a couple breaths, relax, shake out the tension, relax, and let's get ready to do the last leg. All right. Same thing as before. Keep that core nice and tight. Let's begin. Hold on to the wall. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's one. Come on, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's two. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Three. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 4, 5, 6 more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. I'm so tired, I've got to do math. 5, that's 6. I'm sorry, we just did 5. We got 5 left. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 4 left. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 3 left. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 2 more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Last one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That is all of our hip cars. If you're feeling really tired, that is totally normal. No sound. I'm being told there's no sound on YouTube. Hold on. Gunny with motion here is throwing some shade, saying nobody's doing it with you. But what you don't know is we have 219 people over on TikTok who may or may not be doing it, but I got a couple. I appreciate the negativity though, but we're trying to add some positivity into working out and having fun. All right. So if you want to join in, hang out, welcome, welcome. If not, you don't have to be here. Cool. All right. Let's continue, everybody else. Ooh, we got a whole bunch of positivity coming in from TikTok while I was throwing shade. Now I feel bad. All right. Thank you, everybody, for the good positive energy over on TikTok. I appreciate it. Let's continue. We just wrapped up the hip cars, and I was told that there was no sound on YouTube still. No. And I don't know why. There is no audio on YouTube. I'm going to unplug the mic, replug it back in. I'm going to turn this thing off real quick, see what the heck is going on. The light is on. The light is still on. The light is off. The light is on again. And PNQ says there's audio on YouTube. So, seems like I have been misinformed. And I have been told there's been audio the whole entire time. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, boom. We're back. Hip cars just finished. That was our first warm-up exercise. We're going to get on into warm-up exercise number 2. Hopefully, you've had a couple of seconds to move, to dance in between that and now. But if you haven't, what we're doing next, should be a little bit more chill. All right, we're gonna fold into this L shape, and if you have a tight low back, like probably all of us do, from sitting in front of TVs and couches and chairs and doing our laptop thingies, just breathe. Get lazy, flop over, relax, and chill for a little bit. When your low back muscles start relaxing a little bit and you're not feeling it so much in the back and you start feeling it in your hamstrings, then we're ready to start moving. We're going to bend one knee. We're going to straighten out the other leg. We're going to switch back and forth until our hamstrings are very, very, very loose. And until then, they will be uncomfortable. All right, we got this. Let's go. Bring that belly button down as low as you can go. Bend one knee, straighten the other, bend the other, straighten the other, and bend, and straighten, and bend, and straighten, and keep going. If you're joining in for the first time, you're like, oh man, what the heck is this? You should be feeling the stretch in your hamstrings, right? But you might also be feeling it up here, way past your hamstrings, like almost in your butt. And you might be wondering, what the heck is going on over there? That is very likely where your hamstrings turn into tendons and where your tendons attach into the bottoms of your pelvis. So that's probably what you're feeling. That's normal. You might also be feeling a whole bunch of tingliness in your calves and in your toes. And if you are feeling it there, oftentimes that's called nerve flossing, nerve stretching, nerve gliding, just your nervous system getting sort of pulled around in your body because you're folded so far forward. And that should be okay as well. All right, we've done a couple of seconds of this now. So if you feel like it's a little bit more comfortable, it's a little easier at this point, I want you to refocus all that energy, fold a little bit deeper into the stretch and go 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, pop into a little bit of a squat. Oh, come on back up into standing. Oh, and oh, that is our second warm-up exercise. Whew. But that's not all of our second warm-up exercise. We're going to do a little bit more from that position where we're folded forward. We're going to add in some thoracic rotation. The thoracic spine, or the T-spine, is basically everything up from your low back to your neck. So, while there's 3 portions, it's basically half your spine, all right? And it's designed to be able to rotate. It's designed to be able to twist. It's designed to be able to bend in all sorts of directions. So, we're going to add some thoracic rotation. What we're going to do is get back into that same position that we were just in. We're bending one knee. We're straightening out the other leg. We're folding the belly button down into the ground. We're going to take the arm from the bent leg side. We're going to reach across the body to the straight leg. We're going to push against that straight leg. We're going to open up the chest. Open, 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 open. Open, 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 open. And we're going to extend the other arm up into the air behind us. Our neck is now rotating to look at that hand, trying to go as far back as we can comfortably. All right, nobody get hurt right now. And when you reach as far as you can, I want you to take a small breath in and exhale. On that exhale, see if you can reach a little further. Oftentimes, when you exhale, you're releasing a lot of pressure in your chest. And when you release that pressure, your spine can get a little bit more rotation. All right, we're switching to the other side. Other leg, bent. Leg that was bent, straight. Arm from the bent leg side reaches across the body. And we are pushing against that straight leg. Open, 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 open. Breathe. Reach. And whew, that is one rep. We got 5 of these to do in total. That means we got 4 more. Let's go. Again, bent leg, arm from the bent leg side, go into the straight leg side, pushing against the outside of that straight leg, opening up that chest. Look at the hand, breathe and reach. Sigh out that air and reach. That's 2 part 1. 2 part 2. Keep going. 3. Part 1. I talk fast. That does not mean you have to move fast. Alright? I do a ton of explaining because I try to make the show as easy for somebody to hop right into as possible so that when I pop up on your scrolling session, you can go, hey, I can do this. This doesn't look so hard. He's explaining stuff, right? And that means I talk a lot. And That means you got lots of time to take your time and take it slow. Once you know what we're doing, you can go at your own pace. All right? 5, I'm pretty sure. I kind of lost count. Back, and come on down. Whew, that is some thoracic rotation. I know probably the most rotation y'all do these days is just looking over your shoulder, pretending to check your blind spot, if you even do that anymore. So hopefully that little bit of thoracic rotation helps to relax your spine and get you moving a little bit nicer. All right. If your shoulder's super tired right now because you never reach your arm back like this ever, don't worry. This is the only time we're going to use them for anything else. So let's move on into our third warm-up exercise. It's called the Cossack switch. I'm going to rotate this out of the way for a second, and we can begin. Actually, no, we can't. I want you to just pause for a second and just take a look at what I'm doing. All right? We are dropping down into a deep squat on one side. The other leg is basically doing a side split, and then we're going to scoop our butts over to the other side. We're going to squish down, and we're going to come back, and then we're going to squish down, and that is basically what a Cossack switch looks like. But for most people, it's going to be a real pain in the butt, and maybe your ankles and your hips all at the same time to get into that position. So we're going to pre-stretch our joints. We're going to pre-stretch our ankles, and what I want you to do is to come into your deepest squatty looking position. If you're way higher up, it's totally absolutely fine, but try to come down as low as you can. All right. If you're getting close to touching your chest to your knees, I want you to lean forward a little bit so that your heels are coming off the ground. That way, you're getting a nice Achilles tendon stretch, a nice calf stretch, and you can check if you're getting a calf stretch by poking your calves and see if they're really tense. If they're tense, they're probably getting stretched. Okay. From here, I just want you to hug your knees to the chest, do a little wiggle, do a little dance, and relax, breathe, chill. We're warming up our ankles, we're warming up our calves, we're warming up our hips for the Cossack switches. All right. From the front, it probably looks like this. You're just doing a little shake, doing a little wiggle, swinging around, moving those ankles, and hopefully, after a couple more seconds of this, you're ready for some Cossack switches. Let's go ahead and drop our hands straight down into the ground. If you're holding your knees to your chest, you can stick your hands right into the ground. All right, nothing fancy. Extend the other leg out to the side so that the heels are down. And finally, the most important part of this whole thing, drop this heel down. If you have enough flexibility to get really low with that heel down, great. If you need to be higher up in order to get that heel down, that is absolutely fine and is part of the process. So don't be shy. Get as low as you can, and let's continue. From here, we're trying to bring our hips over to the other side. If you're higher up, it should be a little bit easier to glide from side to side. If you're lower down to the ground, you might need to put your hands down, give yourself a little bit of support as you come over to the other side. Whatever it is, take your time, bring yourself over, and when you're at the other side, try your best to sit as low and squish as deep as you can, because we want that stretch in the ankle, we want that stretch in the hip, and we want that stretch in that side split looking position over here. Cool? All right, come on back. That is 1 rep. We're doing 10 of these in total, so we got at least 9 more to go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Over. And back. We'll count that as 2. All right? Over. And back. That's 3. Keep going. If you don't need your hands anymore, don't use your hands. That's absolutely fine. If that's still too easy for you, you can try and sit up real straight. Imagine the tippity top of your head is reaching for the ceiling as you go across. You might benefit from extending your arms in front of you to help counterbalance. And keep going. Get to the other side. Squish. And back. And squish. Oh, I think that's 6. Keep going. 7. If the insides of your knees are getting a little bit achy, getting a little bit irritated from this position right here while you're transitioning from side to side, we can change up the movement. All right? You can try to come up a little bit first, so basically squat upwards, then come across, and then sink down once you're on the other side. So you're skipping the inside of the knee, getting a lot of pressure apart. I think this is 8. Maybe we got 2 left. Let's do this. Up, over, down, up, over, down. Last one. Do the best that you can. Get as low as you can. Come on over. Oh, sink. Get small. Get compact. And come on back. That is 10 reps. We are Don't the warm up. If that sentence scares you because you're like, wait, that's just the warm up. What the heck is the rest of the show about? Don't worry. This is a 45 to 60-minute show for hip mobility and the side splits. All right. That means what's coming up next is a whole bunch of stretches. What we were doing the warm up for was to make sure our muscles were warmed up, our hip joints were ready, our other joints were ready, so we can get the most out of our stretches. So let's transition. Let's get into some stretches. The first thing that we're going to do is a hamstring stretch. And I recommend you go grab something to pad your knee. Hold on. I'm getting some IT advice. I'm being told something's busted with my microphone. I don't know what's going on. It's been confiscated. That should only impact the people on YouTube. YouTube, let me know if you're able to hear me. Actually, you know what? The light just went off on the microphone for the YouTube. It's not even connected to the phone anymore. Should I just pull it off? Oh, no, it's connected again. And I've got no updates. But if you're hearing really aggressive tapping on the microphone over on YouTube, it's because the microphone's being tested. If you're not hearing anything at all, then the microphone is not working. Sorry. Actually, no, it's off right now. I don't know what's going on. Should I just unplug the microphone? We'll just do it from the regular mic. Okay. Sorry for the delay, everybody. We're gonna unplug the YouTube mic, and we'll be ready to continue. And like right now, let's go. We are doing the first of our 5 stretches. The first one is the hamstring stretch. And the way we do it looks a little bit like this. We're dropping down to one knee, and we are extending the other leg out in front. I recommend you grab a little piece of a little piece of foam for your knee, because we're going to be on it. It's going to be supporting a lot of your body weight. It does not have to be a piece of foam. It could be a dirty towel that you just roll up, your dog bed, your couch cushion, your decorative pillows. Anything with a little bit of padding can go right under your knee, and you should be good to go. All right? Whew. Once you've got that set up, we're ready to continue. From here, we're extending one leg out in front, and we are folding that belly button down to that leg. Okay? Fold, 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 fold. Boom. If you're feeling a stretch in your hamstrings, you've done it right, and we're ready to continue and make it a lot harder. I'm going to spin around real quick so that you don't have to stare at just the top of my head, and you can see what my body is doing a little bit more clearly. From here, we're folding, we're breathing, we're chilling, we're relaxing as much as we can. If your feet are flexed and they're going crazy right now, relax. If your calves are tense, relax. If your low back is tight, try your best to relax. And breathe. Don't hold your breath. Slowly exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale. And once you've hung out here for a little bit, and you felt like you folded a little bit more forward into the stretch, we're going to do something I call inhale, exhale, fold. And it is a very descriptive name because that is exactly what we are doing. We're going to take a big breath in with the inhale. We're going to slowly exhale. And while we exhale, we're going to fold. All right? That was just a demonstration. We're going to do it for realsies now. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Fold, 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 fold. Bring that belly button down as low as you can. Your hamstrings are probably crying and very upset with you, and that's probably okay. Relax the calves, relax the toes, relax the feet, relax the glutes, relax the low back, relax as much as you can. Remember to breathe. Sigh. Release as much tension out of your lungs and hopefully out of the rest of your muscles in your leg. And when you've hung out here for a little bit, you can decide if you want to take your fingers and stab them right into your hamstrings, massage them as hard as you can to help distract their brain from just how uncomfortable this is. And after a little bit of distraction, maybe everything is a little bit more chill too. All right? Whew. We got one more inhale, exhale, fold. Let's do this. Inhale. Exhale and fold. We're as deep as we're going to get probably. So let's just call it here and start at 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28. If you're new to the show and you didn't know, we hold it for 30 seconds after all the suffering I put you through. 25, 24, 23,
During this 30 seconds, you should breathe and try to relax as much as you can. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. If you feel like you can get a little bit deeper, flex those abs. Pull yourself deeper into the floor. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is it for one leg. I got a question for IT. Why is the microphone plugged back in if I'm not wearing the microphone? Okay, I got no response. So I'm going to continue and ignore everything else. Let's continue. We're going to switch to the other leg. Other leg is down. Other leg is extended. And we're folding forward. Whew. Fold, 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 fold. Fold, 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 fold. Fold, fold, fold some more. Fold, fold, fold some more. And relax. Sigh out. Reduce. Cycle. Get rid of all the air in your lungs. Exhale. Sigh. And when you're ready, we gotta do the inhale, exhale, fold. I know you're so excited for this. All right, let's do this. Inhale, exhale, and fold. Your hamstrings are probably not happy with you, and that's okay. If this was easy, you would already be able to do splits, right? Yet, it's probably not easy, so you can't do the splits yet, I guess. Probably, hopefully, maybe. All right, what are we doing with this? We're breathing. We're chilling. We're relaxing. And fold, 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 fold. And we're ready to do some more inhale, exhale, fold. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Compress that belly button down into the thigh. If your face is trying to smash into your knee right now, you're working really hard and you're feeling your neck get tense, you're feeling your upper back get tense, you're probably working a little bit too hard. Okay? And the reason why I'm saying that is because all of the folding is happening at your hips. It is not happening in the chest or in the shoulders or in the back, in the neck. All right? So relax. If your back is bent because you're just floppy right now, great. If your back is bent because you're trying to smash your face into your knee, you're working too hard. Cool? 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Relax your feet. You can massage them if you want. Relax your toes. Relax your calves. Relax your hamstrings. Relax, 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 relax. And 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. Oh, we are done with those. That is the first of our 5 stretches. We're going to move on into stretch number 2. If you're just joining in and you're like, what is this guy doing? Just trying to smash his face into his knee. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, the number one most important quality, build a little bit of community, and hopefully, we make the suffering that you're doing right now a little bit more fun, and a little less suffering. So if you like that, hit follow and subscribe and come back. We're live every day at 9 p.m. Cool? Let's continue. We're getting into the second stretch. It's called the butterfly. Because my floor is quite slick, I'm sitting on the mat for a little bit of extra friction. I want you to sit with your back and your butt resting against the wall. Okay? So, come on over to the wall. Butt, low back, upper back, head, shoulders, knees and toes, up against the wall. Not actually your knees and toes. I was just joking. From here, we're going to take our feet. We're going to bring them together. We're going to pull them into our groin. If you need to, you can pull your pants up so you don't bag out the knees of your pants. And we're ready to continue. From here,
we're in the butterfly pose starting position, butterfly stretch starting position. The goal of this butterfly stretch is to feel the stretch here in the groin area. The way you do that is by bringing your knees down into the ground. All right? I want you to always get stronger while you're training with me. So I want you to use your outer thigh muscles. I want you to use your glutes to help open up your groin. And take your time, breathe. We want to see that knee go down. If it's going down just a teeny little bit, but you're feeling a stretch here and it's getting intense, you're doing it right. If it's gone down a lot and you're still feeling a bunch of stretch here, you're also doing it right. The only way you can kind of not really be doing this right is if your knees start coming up towards your chest and you're sitting the other way. All right, so don't do that. From here, we're ready to take it to the next level. Keep on contracting those glutes. Keep on contracting those outer thighs. Pull those knees down. Take your hands, apply a little bit of pressure just below your knee, and push your legs down. When you're doing this right, you're probably also pushing your shoulders and your head into the wall. Your knees go down, your head goes back, and that might be a little bit uncomfortable, but that's right. You're doing it right. 30 seconds, let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. The last couple of seconds, relax all of your muscles. Relax the glutes, relax the thighs. 8, 7, push your hands even deeper into the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let your hands go. Your wrists might be a little bit tight right now. Give them a little gentle knock around, help them relax. Your legs are probably a little fried, and that's okay. If you can flap the wings of your legs like a little butterfly, great. If they're kind of sleeping and not working so well, you can take them, give them an aggressive shake and say, hey, wake up, we got stuff to do. And they should wake up and keep on doing stuff. Like flap the wings of this butterfly. All right, let's go. If your legs are moving, we're ready to continue. I'm gonna toss this over to the side. I'm gonna adjust the YouTube camera real quick because we've been fumbling with it, trying to get the mic working. And now it was angled all the way over there to the side. Whew. What are we doing next? We're moving on to our third, possibly our hardest stretch. It's called the pancake. And it's the hardest because we're doing multiple muscle groups at the same time. All right? To set up, we're going to open up our legs decently wide. And we're going to focus on this belly button. We're going to fold and bring it down into the ground. Boom! If it looks like you're just trying to touch the floor, that's about right. And that is basically our starting point. All right? From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. We're folding at the hips, trying to bring our hands to the ground, trying to bring the belly button down towards the ground. The goal of the butterfly is actually to fold your body like that. And it is really hard. So we want to do a version where gravity gives us as much help as possible. To get into the most gravity assisted position, I want you to try to bring your upper body close to horizontal. All right? And if you want to make it hurt more, you can extend your arms past your head so that your biceps are by your ears. And if you take a nice inhale, exhale, sigh out all that air in your lungs and relax, you should be feeling a nice intense stretch right here at the hips. If you need more, you want more, feel free to grab a tiny little dumbbell, a water bottle, something, and also extend that way over there. There's this physics principle called leverage, and that's what you're adding, and it's going to hurt your butt. So, good luck. From here, when you're in this position, you might find that it's possible for your legs to also go into an even wider stance. Feel free to do that. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but if you can, you can. You have my permission. From here, bring that belly button down, 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 down. If you feel like your face is a little too close to the ground, you can scoop your butt back a little bit, and that will help bring your upper body a little closer to horizontal. All right? Fold, 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 fold. That's all the explanation. We're about to start. Get into position. Get ready. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. If at any point your arms are way too tired, you can definitely not keep holding them out in front of your head because that will hurt. 22, 21, 20.
but we're folding the belly button down. All right, it's going down into the ground. Maybe your face is going to the ground. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, put your hands down on the ground. Oh, give yourself a little bit of support. Get your hips out of whatever crazy position they were just in. Bring your legs together. All right. It might work if you bring your toes in. Then bring your heels in. Bring your toes in. Bring your heels in. Bring your toes in. Bring your heels in. And a couple minutes later, we'll be able to come back into standing. All right. When your legs are more or less together, you might be stuck like this, bent forward, because your hamstrings are crying out now, right now. Oh, stumble, crawl, finagle yourself into some sort of standing position, and when you're ready, we're going to talk about why the pancake is so real. All right. We spent a lot of time in the hamstring stretch before, right? And you're probably still feeling it in your hamstrings right now. And that's because anytime you fold forward, your hips are folded forward, you're getting to the hamstring stretch. And it doesn't matter if your legs are together or if your legs are super far apart, as long as your hips are folded forward, they're gonna cry. Sorry, and by they I mean your hamstrings. Your hamstrings are going to cry. That's what's going on right now. Additionally, the other main muscle that we're stretching in the pancake is the inner thigh muscles. The inner thigh muscles, they're designed to do one thing, and that is to pull your leg into the center or just a bit past the center of your body. But what we did the exact opposite. We brought our legs out as far as we could, and then not only did we not let them rest, we forced them to stay there and hold up our whole entire body weight while I counted horribly for 30-ish kind of seconds. That is putting a whole bunch of pressure, making your muscles contract even though they're stretched out. And that is partially what hurts. There's a pro and there's a con to this. The pro is that you're getting stronger. You're training those muscles while you're sitting here and suffering. The con is you're suffering. So the bright side of all this is the stronger these muscles are, the easier it will be to convince your brain, your nervous system to relax and chill and give you control of the muscles so that you can get to deeper splits. Cool? All right. Hopefully, after all that explanation and time filling, your muscles are starting to feel a little bit more relaxed and not nearly as brutally abused as they were a couple seconds ago. And we're ready to move on into stretch number 4. Stretch number 4, you got the option between the pigeon stretch or the figure 4 stretch. Yesterday I explained the figure 4 stretch, so today I'm going to demonstrate the pigeon stretch. If you have a favorite, you can feel free to do whatever it is that you like. So if you're a regular, go ahead and jump right into it. But for the rest of us, let's get into some pigeon, or let's demonstrate some pigeon. We're going to start by lifting this leg, bring it across the body, like so. We're going to grab that leg, pull it up to our belly button. We're going to bring that belly button down to our leg, and that's it. That's the pigeon stretch, except we're standing on one leg. You should feel a stretch out here in the side of your hip. That's technically a glute muscle. And you might also feel it outside of the thigh in the hamstrings, and you might feel a little bit of pinchiness when you're folding forward. Those are all relatively normal. All right, let's get our butts onto the floor. The pigeon is set up like this. We're going to have one leg across the body, and the other leg can just do whatever it wants for now. We're going to try and get the midpoint of our chest down to the midpoint of this leg bone, between the knee and the ankle. And they don't have to touch, they just have to sort of line up midpoint to midpoint. Alright? Really fold. And that's it. That's a pigeon. If you want to make this more complicated, you want to make this more painful for yourself, we got some options. Alright? One of them is sticking this leg back behind you. So we get into this folded forward position, we get this leg behind us, and this is called hip extension. If you need a little bit of help getting into this position, we got 2 tips. The first one is stop standing up so straight. Fold forward and get lazy, and all of a sudden, you don't need as much flexibility in that hip. It's easier to stick that leg behind you. All right? Tip number 2 is to elevate your front leg. I got some wiggle blocks right here. I'm going to use this temporarily as our elevation. If you elevate that front hip, Sorry, if you elevate the front leg, the hip will also come up. Unless you're demonically flexible and you can like drop super low down, then maybe it won't come up. But for most of us who are experiencing issues with this leg going backwards, if you elevate the front leg, your hip will also come up, and that will give you a whole bunch more room under your leg for it to go underneath you. And ta-da! It's working. All right, that's it. Let's go. Ugh. Ooh, I did that way too hard. Whoops. All right, 30 seconds of stretching. Get ready. Chest midpoint, leg midpoint. Fold. Extend the other leg back behind you and breathe. Exhale all the air out in your lungs. Deflate. Squish yourself into the ground. Get as compact and flat as you can. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Keep on breathing. Don't hold your breath. You can start to wiggle and figure out if something feels more good, something feels more intense, and you want to do other stuff. You can try that. 10, 9. If the stretch suddenly feels really easy, though, you should just take your foot and bring it to your face, and it'll make the stretch really hard. 7, 6, 5. Keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that's one leg. Oh, we got one last leg, and then we'll be done with stretch number 4. Oh, throw the other leg over and get ready to go. Oh, I don't know why I'm grunting so much, but you can grunt as much as you want to. All right. From here, again, your leg is coming across the body, midpoint of the chest, midpoint of the leg. Fold, 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 fold. If you can, extend the other leg behind you, and exhale. Breathe. Feel the stretch here in the outside of this hip. It's technically a glute muscle for the most part. Oh, breathe. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. If it gets too easy, again, push your feet towards your face. 21, 20, 19, 18. Don't hold your breath. Keep breathing. Relax. 14, 13, 12. You can experiment with changing where your chest is. You can try to bring your chest out to the thigh and see how that feels on those muscles. You can try to bring your chest over towards your foot and see how that feels for your muscles. You can give up and just go somewhere in the middle and see how that feels for your muscles. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and of course you can stick your feet by your face and make it real hard. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that is our pigeon stretch. Whew. The pigeon is one of those stretches where once you get into it, you realize you can just sort of like flop and let gravity do all the work, and you can be super lazy. And that's a really good reason to do more pigeon. Okay, it's really good for the side of your glutes. Those muscles pretty much never get stretched because your legs never do anything this crazy most of the time. So if you like it, if you think it's fun, if you think it feels good, do some more. You can use the couch, you can use the bed, you can use a chair, you can use a stool, and you can just, instead of doing it on the ground, you can just kind of like lean into it and go, whoa. Except, you need an imaginary chair or something in front of you and not just fall over. All right. Whew. We're going to get into our 5th and final stretch. So far, we've been doing a whole bunch of prep work, all the different muscles, all the different joints and things that we're doing. We're preparing us for some side splits. If you've never done side splits before, don't worry. I will break this down into itty bitty pieces and we will explain everything as we go. But the first thing that I care about is your safety. All right? And what I want you to do to stay safe is to stand 8 to 12 inches in front of a wall. The reason for this is because we are going to inevitably be in a position that looks like this. We're going to be trying to get deeper into our side split. We're going to be squirming, we're going to be shaking, we're going to be wiggling, and at some point, you might lean a little too far back. And you might find yourself swimming through the air like, no, I'm going to fall backwards. Ah! But if you have a wall right behind you,
Usually your butt touches the wall, and you don't have to slam your chest into it, and all of a sudden everything's fine. We're safe. Everything is good. That's very important because I don't want you to bust your butt falling into the ground, doing some side splits, and not want to come back. All right. Then remember, this show is all about consistency. We're trying to keep you safe so you can enjoy being consistent. All right. I'm gonna do a real quick demo of what happens if you don't have a wall behind you. You're just in the stretch. You're trying to get a little bit deeper. You're wiggling from side to side. All of a sudden, you're like, oh no, I've gone too far. You start swimming and swimming and swimming, and oh, you bust your butt on the floor. Everything is just painful, and you have a not fun time. So stand in front of the wall, 8 to 12 inches. All right, let's go. Ooh. If you don't know what 8 to 12 inches means, usually for most people, it's about 1 footstep, a footstep and a half in front of the wall. If you have mysteriously large feet, it's probably also still fine because I assume you have long leg bones. And then it'll like even out. If you have really small feet, I don't know. All right, let's go. We're doing some side splits. Try your best to open up your legs as wide as you can. If your hips are hurting right here, you've gone too far. Stop, bring your legs in just a little bit, and we're ready to continue. As long as there's no pain in the hips. From here, we're focusing on the belly button. We're folding them down into the ground and relax. Oh, chill for a second. I want you to try to put your hands down on the ground. I realize I've knocked my yoga blocks really far away, and my stool is also really far away, so give me a second. I'm going to grab my stool. If you cannot reach the ground, or you're struggling a little bit and you're feeling like you're going to tip over, just don't feel generally safe, feel free to elevate your hands. If you got something to put your hands on, like a couple of old textbooks, great. If you have a stool, awesome. If you even want to use a chair, that is absolutely fine. Okay? From here, we're going to do the most important thing in our whole entire life. So we want you to be stable. We want you to feel secure before we do it. All right? What we're going to do next is rotate our whole entire leg backwards. What that looks like is we're going to go from this position where your feet are flat on the ground. We're going to rotate the whole leg. So boom, your heel is down, your toes are up, your knees are up, and your quads are pointing up. We're going to do that on the other side too. Boom, heel down, toe up, knee up, quad up, and we are in position. We are in a position where we've rotated our thigh bones out of the way of our hip bones so that they don't smash into each other anymore. And that means the only thing holding us back from a deeper side split is our muscles. Yay! So, we are in side splits. That's it. If you started a little bit higher up, great. If you feel like you can drift your way down into a deeper one, awesome. If you are stuck, that's also fine. You are in your side splits. All right? From here on out, we're going to get a little bit more advanced. Give it your best shot and keep going. From here, I want you to keep wiggling from side to side. See if you can push your leg out a little bit further. Breathe, chill, and push, 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 push. If it feels too intense, you can always stop. All right? Breathe, chill. When you're as deep as you think you can get for the moment, I want you to look at your toes. I want you to look at your heels, look at your feet, look at your ankles, look at your calves, your quads, look at all your leg muscles. And I want you to take a nice big deep breath in and exhale it out. If you have not gotten used to it by now, we have made a lot of sighing sounds. We're exhaling that air, we're reducing tension, we're reducing the pressure in our lungs, and we're trying to relax as many muscles as possible. So let those toes go, let those feet go, let those calves go, and we're ready. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. You walk your hands forward to where that chair was before when you were doing the position, getting into it for the first time. You're going to feel more of a stretch in your inner thigh muscles. If you walk your hands back towards your groin and you kind of sit up a little straighter, you're going to feel it more in your hamstring. If you're a relative beginner, you're going to need both. So don't worry that much about which position you're in. If it's exhausting, you're tired, you can't move, you can switch back and forth. All right?
That should be enough time. Let's go. Let's finish. Walk your hands forward. Pull your legs in and breathe. Relax. Grunt. Groan. Make as many sound effects as you need to. Oh man. That is our first side split. We're going to do 2 more. The side splits are a little bit different from every other stretch that we do in that we do 3 rounds. And in between each round, we shake out as much tension in our legs as possible so that we can get into a deeper second side split and a deeper third side split. So when you're ready, come back up into standing. We're going to start shaking out and getting relaxed, get chill, and maybe dance a little. All right? What are we going to do? We're going to stand, put all of our weight in one leg. We're going to flick the other leg out. All right? I want you to loosen up the ankle. I want it to be floppy. I want it to go wherever it wants, and I want it to just be loose. When your ankles are moving around, they're super loose looking. All the muscles upstream of that ankle is also going to be loose, right? You flex muscles to flex your feet. You point your toes with your calves. You have some other muscles that are smaller. I don't know the names of for moving your foot to the left and to the right. All those muscles, in order for your foot to be super relaxed, have to be chill, have to be relaxed. All right, so do that for a little bit. Shake it out, wiggle, flop, pretend you're a wet noodle, and just throw all that tension away. That's one leg. Other leg, let's go. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 and when your legs are feeling loose and chill and relaxed, we're ready to shake out our hips a little bit. All right. After you do stuff like this for a little bit, there's a whole bunch of muscles right here on the side of your hip. They're gonna be a little bit grumpy at you. They're gonna be like, what are you trying to do? You want us to cramp on you or something? And what we're gonna do is probably not gonna prevent cramping, but it will help a little bit with relaxation. We're gonna put all our weight into one foot. We're gonna drop the big toe of the other foot down on the ground. We're gonna just shake our legs out by bringing the knee in and out and in and out and in and out. I want you to learn how to control the muscles in the hip that help you bring your knees in and out. Notice the rest of the body is not moving. It's literally just this thigh bone in the hip socket being pulled in and out. If you straighten out your leg, it will look a little bit like this. But if you have your leg bent, it'll look a little bit like this. All right? As you get more comfortable with this, you can pick up the pace. You can go a little bit faster. You can turn this into a stanky leg, and we're dancing. Whew. Other side. In, out, 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 in, out. Stanky leg, stanky leg, stanky leg. And if you want, you can combine and do both legs at the same time. Bring these in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And that, hopefully, there's a whole bunch of relaxation for your legs. We're going to get right into side split number 2. Stand each 12 inches in front of the wall for most people. That's 1.5, maybe 2 footsteps in front of the wall. And we're going to open up our legs. If you're so deep into your split that your hips are hurting right now, you've gone too far. Bring your legs in just a little bit, and we're ready to follow. Bring that belly button down into the ground. Whew. If you can, put your hands down. If you cannot, elevate your hands. If you can and you just don't want to, you can also elevate your hands. All right? From here, we're going to do the most important thing for our legs. We're going to rotate them so that they don't smash into other bones. Your thigh bone will smash into your hip bones. That's why they were uncomfortable and pinching when you were standing up straight. When you fold forward, it reduces your likelihood, and then when you rotate some more, it's going to eliminate the chance that your thigh bone is going to smash into your hip bone, and you won't have pinching pain. So let's do it. Your foot was flat on the ground. We're rotating the whole leg back. Boom. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are up, quads are up. From here, we got to do both sides. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are up, quads are up, and we're in our side split. All right? It doesn't matter how high you are up in the air right now. If your legs are rotated, you're already in a side split. Cool? From here, take your time. Use the stool, use your hands. Do a little gentle wiggle from side to side. If your heels are quite uncomfortable, quite painful because you're putting so much pressure into them, you might benefit from a little bit of foam underneath. Some flip-flops might be really helpful. I have some foam nets that I used to use, and I don't anymore because my feet are now calloused and gross, but that's neither here nor there. Let's continue. Keep on wiggling from side to side. Shake, wiggle, squirm, and If you are really close to that wall, you might be able to walk your hands towards your hips, rest your butt against the wall, and just chill here for a little bit. Do a little bit more wiggling, 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 wiggling. See if you get just a little bit deeper. And when you're as deep as you think you can get, flex those toes, move those feet, do a little shake, and relax as many muscles as possible. Sigh, release all that extra tension. 30 seconds, let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. If we're getting really technical about what it is that we're doing right now, what I'm doing is technically called a straddle, okay? And it's getting close to looking like a side split, and from that camera angle, it probably looks like I'm really, really deep in the side split, but there's some camera magic here. My feet are coming away from the wall, and they're now open all the way flat 180 degrees, and it just looks really impressive from that angle. All right, I forgot where I counted to. 15, 14, 13. If you walk your hands forward towards the camera, I guess, towards you guys, you will take your hips off the wall and your chest will start coming to parallel with the floor instead of going straight up into the sky. And when you do that, it shifts the focus of the muscles. Instead of the hamstrings getting stretched, it's going to stretch the inner thigh muscles. And when I focus on that, you can probably see I'm quite a bit off the ground still. Whew. When you're in this position, you should still try your best to relax your legs. Try to chill. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, almost done. 1, 0. All right, walk your hands forward, pull your legs in. The further you walk your hands forward, the easier it will be to pull your legs in because they're getting dragged behind you. Whew, that is our second side split, and we're almost done. We got one, or I guess we got 2 more rounds of shaky shaky. We got 1 more side split to do. All right. Oh. When you're done grunting and groaning, or you can keep grunting and groaning, come on up into standing. Oh. When you're done waddling around like a drunk penguin, let's start shaking. Shake, 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 shake. Wobble, 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 wobble. Flop, 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 flop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. If you have not added in your arms into this, by the way, feel free to give them a shake. They're spending a lot of effort holding your body weight up, keeping you from squishing yourself into a split, I guess, and that's exhausting. Shake out the legs, shake out the arms, shake, 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 shake. You are overcooked spaghetti, ramen, cup of noodle that you forgot about for a little bit, and we want you to be made of jello. Flop, 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 flop. Shake the ankle out, shake the calves out, shake out that leg. Relax, and let's get into the hips. All your weight is in one leg, big toe is down, rotating the knees in and out, 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 faster, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. We don't have to dance if you don't want to. We can take this to super high speed instead. Again, all of your weight, almost all of it in that one standing leg, just the big toe down in the ground. Stop bending the knee so much. Start shaking fast, 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 fast. Don't go as deep as before where your knee was going like in and out and in and out. Start reducing that range of motion, but go fast. Fast, 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 fast. Your legs should start flopping all over the place. And by flopping, I mean your jello-y quads, relaxed muscles, should be flopping back and forth. And they won't be going as fast as your bones are because those are the things that you're swinging back and forth real hard. When your legs turn into jello, they'll be relaxing. All right? Other side. All your weight is down. Big toe is down. Rotate, 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 rotate. Swing that leg around. Relax those muscles. Shake, 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 shake. And probably should have started with the easier version first. Easy, easy stuff. In, out, in, out, in, out. Faster, 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 faster. Get lazy, reduce the range of motion, and keep on shaking. My leg is tired. I can't do it fast. I overpromised. Okay, there we go. Boom. Shake the leg out. Reduce that tension. Flop, 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 flop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And I think it's time for a third round of side splits. Whew. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of a wall because if you start falling backwards, your butt will rest on the wall. But also, when we're deep in the side split, you can intentionally rest your butt on the wall. Open up those legs nice and wide. If you're feeling pain here in the hips, it's pinching already. Stop. Bring the legs back in. Fold that belly button down into the ground. Fold, 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 fold. If you can, put your hands down. Give yourself a little bit of support. It helps with stability. If you don't want to, or if you can't, you can elevate your hands and give yourself a little bit more support. From here, we're doing the most important thing of the entire show. We're rotating our thigh bones so they don't smash into our hip bones. What we're going to do is take our foot, actually, we're going to take our whole leg. We're going to take it from this position where the feet are flat on the ground. We're going to rotate backwards 90 degrees. So the heel is down, the toes are up, the knees are pointing up. All right? From here, we got to do the other side. So, boom. Heels down, toes up, knees up. We are in our side split stretch. Take your time. Breathe, relax, squirm, let your legs get into a deeper stretch position. If you are ready to stop, you can stop at any time. You don't have to go as deep or try to go as deep as I am if you're not ready for it. It's okay. Okay? Breathe, relax, do a little wiggle from side to side. See if you can squish yourself deeper into that stretch. And like I said earlier, if you use the wall behind you, you can sort of treat it like a mini stool. Lean back, give yourself a little bit of support. Might feel a little bit more comfortable to lean back into it. If you want, you can keep your chest really low to the ground instead. And feel that stretch in your inner thigh muscles. Whatever it is that you choose, 30 seconds, let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, we're almost done, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward, drag your legs in underneath you, and oh man. The funny thing about side splits is the more rounds of side splits you do, it tends to be that the deeper you get. But it also is more difficult to get out of the side splits. The walking your hands forward, pulling your legs in seems to get worse every round. Whew. That's it, guys. That's everything. That is 3 side splits. All we got left is a couple of quick shakes. Relieve some tension so your legs can go back to doing whatever you got to do for the rest of the day. We're going to do a couple of quick joint checks after that, and then we'll be done. Done. All right? Let's do this. Shake out the legs. Shake, 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 shake. You are spaghetti, overcooked spaghetti, not raw spaghetti. That would be not good. That'd be the exact opposite of what we want. Overcooked spaghetti. Shake, 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 shake. Other side. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Add your arms in if you need something specific to do. You can turn your hands into propellers and go in circles back and forth. You can flop your wrists around like you're a little T-Rex. And hopefully that helps. Relax your arms. Next up, we're going to do a little bit for the hips. All your weight is in one leg, big toe is down on the other. We're rotating in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. As you get faster, as you get stronger, you can pick up the speed, you can pick up the intensity, you can turn it into dance moves, do some stanky leg. Other side. All your weight in one leg, big toe is down in the other, knee, out, in, out. Notice the rest of the body is not moving. It's just this leg in that hip socket, shaking. And it's just a couple of muscles here in the hip doing all of the work. And as you get more comfortable, as you get faster, pick up the speed. You can start turning that leg into jello and wiggle so fast your quad muscles can't keep up. And they're just going flop, 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 flop. But also, of course, you can do some stanky legs. All right? Whew, hopefully your legs are relaxed. We're going to do a couple of quick joint checks, and then we're going to wrap up. All right? Joint checks. Hip circles. Whee! We put our hips through a lot today. And now we're just going to slowly work through that range of motion and see if there's anything that feels bad and it needs a little bit of love, needs a little bit of attention. Whew. After the side splits, I usually feel a whole bunch of stress and tension here on the left and right side of the hips. So I spend a little bit of time here. If you feel it in your low back, and you're like, oh, feel free to relax and flop for a couple seconds. All right. From here, we're gonna do a quick high knee. If your knees come up, you're fine. We're gonna move on. Next up, we're gonna do a squat, and we're gonna do some calf raises from that squat. A lot of us are not gonna have particularly strong toes. But your toes are very important for your balance, for your stability. So if you can take some time, try to do a couple of cool things with your toes. For example, spread them as wide as you can right now. Lift them as high as you can right now. Clench them together like you're making a fist with your toes, or like the floor is really cold and you're trying to use as little foot surface area on the floor as possible because you're like walking over some tile in the middle of winter. You're like, ah. And those basic motions, you should practice a little bit when you got time. All right? From here, we're going to pop into a bit of a squat. I want you to try your best to fold your chest down towards your knees. All right? When you're in this position, your face is going to feel like it's falling forward. Don't actually fall forward, but I want you to feel like you're leaning that way. When that's happening, your toes should be working real hard, gripping the floor, trying to keep you from falling over. When your toes are gripping that hard, the arch of your foot should also be nice and strong. All right? From here, I want you to bring your knees towards the same direction that you're leaning. All right, so past your toes. When you do that, you're gonna feel a whole bunch of stretch in the Achilles tendon, in the calves. You can poke them to double check, and just because you're holding the squat, your quads are probably cramped. From here, you can put your hands down if you want for a little bit of support, or you cannot. I want you to do a couple of calf raises. Okay, I want you to focus on bringing your body weight just behind the big toe, maybe just behind the big toe and index toe, and really focus on getting as high as you can in that calf raise. Whew. When your calves are ready to give up and your quads are exhausted, you can come up out of that position and we should be good. What we just did was put our toes to work with the arch of our foot, with our Achilles tendon, with our calves, with our knees, with our quads, with our hips, with our low back. And we forced them all to work really well, really closely together because we're trying to balance and we're trying to lift and we're trying to force a whole bunch of things to work. So if you're able to do most of those things, you're probably in a pretty good situation. And we can wrap up. Thank you so much for coming in, everybody. Thank you for doing our live side split and hip mobility show again. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make stretching and suffering on the floor a little bit more fun so that we can, practice the consistency and build some hip mobility and some side splits. Of course, side splits. Whew. So, if you had fun, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe. If you have already hit follow and you've already hit subscribe, make sure to check out the other content that I make. I just uploaded a YouTube video earlier today, and it's actually a slightly older version of the live that I forgot I had filmed because we did a silent version of it, and that took forever to edit, so I forgot about the longer talking version of it. If you missed the live and you want a little bit of instruction, all the moves are the same, but the instructions are slightly different because I focused and emphasized different things in that version of the show. And you need a little bit of help practicing consistency, but you can't make the live, you can go check out that video. It's going to look a little higher quality than the live recordings because the live recordings are, I don't know, they're like 720p or something. But that video is in 1080p, so you can see a nice high quality, and there's like editing and effects and stuff. So it's nice. Go check that out. If you don't know already, the YouTube account is also at Splits on the Side. So if you're on TikTok right now and you're like, I have to find this person's YouTube, it's youtube.com/at Splits on the Side. So the exact same username is on TikTok. Cool? All right. Go check that out. It would be really awesome if you left a comment and gave it a like, because then maybe more people will see it, and maybe I can get monetized on YouTube at some point. That would be really nice and helpful. All right? Okay. Oh, I'm scooting over to the camera. I'm going to take a look at the comments so I can finally reply. Cat G says, thank you. You're very welcome. Bebe says, thank you. Thumbs up and smileys. Thumbs up right back at you. All right. I'm going to take a quick look at YouTube because usually there's fewer comments there, and we can wrap up that one. And, all right, we had the microphone issue. Let's see. I can kind of hear, but it's not the typical audio. Okay, so
Queen R is saying there's a little bit of something that's weird going on, and I will have to check that later. Thank you so much for letting me know. And Jax JXA, which is Che, transferring himself over to YouTube, says it's not too bad. We can still hear you, but it's like you're far away. Yeah. At some point, I had the mic receiver removed. I don't know what is supposed to happen when it's not turned on, but I was afraid that having it plugged in at some point would block the phone's microphone from recording because it was supposed to take audio from the little baby microphone that's usually attached to my glasses that make my glasses really heavy and extra slippy off my facey. And yeah, so we unplugged it, and at this microphone that you hear right now is just a built-in phone microphone. And if it sounds like I'm far away, it's because I was far away. Cool. All right, I think that's all of the comments in the YouTube chat, and I think linked in the YouTube chat might be a video you should check out. So check those out. Okay, back over to TikTok. I'm gonna scroll and see if there's any questions that I need to answer. If you asked a question and I have not looked at it at all, then throw it back into the chat and I'll address it right now. But I'm gonna scroll up and see if I see anything we need to address. Josh, my gosh, says, "Oh, we're bringing out the club moves." Absolutely. We sit and struggle in these crazy stretches. The least we can do is have some fun and put that mobility to work and see where it applies. If you ever want to do some stanky leg, if you ever wanted to do some cool dance moves, know that some of the muscles that we're learning to use absolutely applies. Peggy says, "Thank you. You're very welcome, Peggy." Bebe, I'm being told by TikTok, is a longtime watcher and rising star in your life. And then TikTok told me that again in the very next comment. Thank you, TikTok. All right. And you followed the creator, which is me. Thanks, Bebe. That's an awesome username. Okay, Che sending in the tabs. Josh is doing the stanky leg. Yes, yes, yes. Peggy, we are on YouTube. I don't know if you've already heard this now because I just said it, but our YouTube account is at Splits on the Side, so it's the same exact username as on TikTok, but it is the YouTube platform. And all of the lives are recorded and posted directly onto YouTube after the lives are finished. The camera angle is slightly different, and you can't see the chat as if you were in the live, but they're up there, and you are welcome to go check those out. If you wanted to see how much progress I've made in the last couple of months, you can, I guess, scroll through those videos and find out. Let's see. I'm scrolling, and the phone is starting to flop all over the place because I'm scrolling so fast and pushing hard on the phone. And I am looking. What else do we have? Che says, "Try the best you can and slowly and carefully." That is probably great advice. I'm gonna see what the comment is. Chato says, "Very hard for the old. I'm 71." Absolutely. I am not 71, and I've been doing this side split show for about close to 500 days, I think, 450 plus days. So some of the things that I show and some of the things that I demonstrate are not going to be the easiest for a lot of people to get into. There's going to be plenty of 30-year-olds that cannot do the same thing that I'm doing too. That is not a reason to be discouraged. That is a reason to be excited because you're here. We actually have a really significant audience of people who are over the age of 55 on the live. I just checked the TikTok stats. I think like 30 or 40% of the audience is in the 55 plus category. And there's a lot of people here who don't have the advantage of youth. Don't have 16-year-old bodies anymore. In fact, I think almost everybody is not under 18. I think it was like a 1% sub 18 viewership. uh, all of the exercises that we do can be definitely adapted for less mobile people. And it's probably not going to be the exact same for you. But when I first started the show, I was significantly less flexible, but I've been using the same exact exercises for the last year and a half to get to the place that I'm at today. And it took a long time because we focused mostly on the most important quality, which is consistency. There's probably, I'm pretty confident, a much faster way to get into the side splits if you're ready to suffer and do the hard work that it is needed to do those specific types of exercises. But I have tried that in the past, and I would always get way too sore, and I'd take too many breaks, and all of a sudden it'd be 6 months later, and I hadn't made any progress in my side splits. What has changed this time around is I built a relatively straightforward, easy plan to do every single day. I can show up for it consistently, and now I'm making steady progress day by day. So if that sounds like something you want to do, you can stick around and let me know if you want me to specifically add some slightly easier variations or emphasize more easy variations to help you get into your side splits. Cool? All right. I'm going to keep scrolling and see what else we got. Since we're down to our final 26 people in the live, I probably am not going to go too far back at this point because I imagine that you're not here anymore. Somebody asked, teach you something. What's for? We're doing 45 to 60 minutes at this point. We're already 75 minutes into the live, but we're doing 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work so that you can move a little bit better, perform cool tricks on the ground, like kind of splits, or at least, picking up grandkids and babies and things off the ground and moving comfortably so that you can actually do stuff. All right. I think that is most of the comments. I'm scrolling back to the bottom, seeing the last little bit, and we will wrap up for today. Josh, my gosh, asks, are you able to do a side split now? No, I am not. I am getting close. Depending on the camera angle, I look like I'm basically there. Ooh, wow, I can't believe I sat down for long enough in front of the camera talking to you guys that I have gone way back up. Hold on, breathe, relax. Okay, so my deepest straddle right now looks like I'm pretty close to maybe 150, 160 degrees. I think I would guess that I got something like 14 or 15 inches off the ground at this exact moment. If I were to pivot forward like this, I could probably get a little bit deeper if I was a little even bit more warmed up. But that's about where I'm at. I've gotten significantly deeper, but I'm not quite in the side splits just yet. And I think I'm at the point where I probably need to double down on the heavy duty, intense stuff to force my way down into a side split rather than our daily show. I think what I'm learning, what I'm realizing is consistency is super important because it builds the habit. It builds like your life around the thing you're trying to be consistent around, and that's super important. But I think at a certain level, your brain just decides it doesn't want to get more flexible and is going to fight you unless you take your own dramatic attempts at getting flexible. The problem with me doing the more intense stuff is I'm gonna need to take more days off and I'm gonna need to relax more. But that makes the live, our consistency show, a little bit more difficult to do, right? If I have to take a whole bunch of days off to recover in between really hard sessions of side splits. So haven't quite figured that one out, but I think the solution is I'm just gonna have to walk you guys through the workout while I just groan and suffer and not actually go as hard as I can. Because up until this point, I have been performing pretty much as hard as I can every single day during our lives. These lives are the time where I do my workout. And that makes it really convenient for the live to exist because it just keeps me accountable because I already want to make sure I do the stretching, right? But if I start doing some crazy exercises to make sure I can get into a really deep side split, I think I'm gonna need more recovery time than my overnight current situation, and haven't figured out how I'm gonna balance that just yet. But maybe I'll just try it later after this, and then tomorrow I'll let you know that I did that, and we'll see how that goes. Cool. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits, and I hope you had fun. I hope you're feeling stretchy. I hope you're feeling proud, accomplished, because you did a great job working out, and I hope I'll see you tomorrow. If you enjoyed the live, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. We are live every day at 9 p.m. to practice the most important quality, consistency, and hopefully we'll all be able to move a little bit better for it. All right? groan as much as you need. And I'm closing off for today. Thank you so much. Jax, JXA, which is Che, says kettlebells, maybe? Dumbbells, maybe? Actually, I have them somewhere. I don't know where they are. I haven't seen them in a while because I haven't been home. But that's a good idea. I'm going to try it out. Cool. Goodbye, everybody. I'll see you in like 22 and a half hours. See you tomorrow.